Hi everyone, welcome to Lace Academy's YouTube videos. This is my second video explaining the best approach to answer the aptitude questions from quantitative aptitude module given in TCS NQT examination that was held today, that is 24th October 2020. And in this video, I have taken a few questions from the first as well as second slot of the examination that was held. Let us see how to answer the aptitude questions given in the best way without really wasting much of time in answering the questions. A sum invested on simple interest grows to 22,500 rupees and 25,500 rupees in 7 and 9 years respectively. So 7 years total is 22,500, 9 years total is 25,500. What is the rate of interest is asking. So we can see in 2 years gap, the sum is increasing by 3,000. So that is the interest levied in 2 years. So in 2 years, if the interest is 3,000, each year the interest is 1,500. And in 7 years, the interest will be 7,1,500, which is 10,500. So this 22,500 is the total, including the 10,500 rupees interest. So 22,500 may 10,500 is the interest, means remaining 12,000 is our principal amount. Now he's asking what is the rate of interest. Every year the interest levied is 1,500. Out of the principal of 12,000 into 100 is your rate of interest. So he's straight away asking whether we know 15 table or not properly. 15 sevens 105, 225 minus 105 is 120. So 120, 100 is the principal. So how much you'll get, you can directly see it to 12.5%. Right? Now let us see what is the next question given. The variation in temperature throughout the day in a desert town was studied on the basis of the record of minimum and maximum temperatures, which were 8 degrees and 36 degrees. So two different notings are given, recordings. And what is the standard deviation? Standard deviation is nothing but root mean square of all the deviations. Now, if I take the average of these two, 8 and 36, we'll get the average as 22. And luckily, if you see the deviations of these two values, the readings from 22, both are 14 and 14. So when both the deviations are 14, the standard deviation also becomes the same value 14, because it becomes root of 14 square plus 14 square by 2, because two values are there, which is nothing but again root of 14 square, which is again 14. Right? So this is a very simple question, just given with a longer English language to just make you feel that this is a bigger question. Let's see the next one. A sum of 30,000 rupees is invested in a scheme where the interest is compounded annually and it grows to 51,840 after 3 years. Now first let us see what is 51,840 when compared with 30,000. So I don't bother with zeros. I see what is happening with 51,840 divided by 3. It becomes 1728 when I cancel it. And 1728 is 12 cube. That means every year 120, 120, 120 is multiplied because 3 years actually is compounded. If you want to know more about compounding, where direct questions, answers like this are to be done, you can just go for understanding the compounding principle from the video of proportions concept in our Lace Academy channel, which is a full length lesson. So he is directly saying 20% is the rate of interest levied every year. And now the same money is now invested for 6 months where interest is compounded quarterly. So if every year 20% is the interest, quarterly the interest will be 5%. 6 months has 2 quarters. So 5%, 5% compounding will give 105 to 105, which is 10.75% extra interest. So that is what he's asking. So what is 10.75% of 30,000 is what he's asking straight away. So 10.25%. Sorry, my bad. 10.25%. So what is, or if you want to find out the total, you can find out 110.25% of the total. The total value will be 33075. If only interest is needed, 3075. He's asking only the interest amount. That's it. So don't waste time unnecessary with all the formula 1 plus r by 100 whole power. And all these are Bakwas formula which are not to be used. They can be used when you are writing your unit tests or half yearly exams when you are in school days. Understand proportions, understand compounding properly, and then these questions can be answered straightforwardly. Now let us see the next question. The diameter of a pizza is 30 centimeter. What is the area of the upper surface of the sector of the pizza whose arc length is 8 centimeter? So this is a question where he is asking whether we know area of the sector is given by L into R by 2. L is the arc length, R is the radius. So we can say arc length is 8 and radius is 15 by 2. So 120 by 2, which is 60 square centimeter. This is the relation for area of the sector when we know length of the arc and the radius. Let us see the next question. A man had to travel 50 kilometers in 2 hours. He could cover 20 kilometers in 1 hour and then had to stop for 10 minutes. By what factor should he increase his speed with reference to that during the first hour to finish the travel as per schedule? Normally, he should be traveling at 25 km per hour, but the first hour he traveled only at 20 km per hour. Now, he already wasted 10 minutes of time after that because he stopped. So now he has only 50 minutes of time in which he has to cover the remaining 30 kilometers. So what is the speed that is needed to travel 30 kilometers in 50 minutes? Time equal to or speed equal to distance by time. So 30 in 50 minutes. 50 minutes can be converted as 5 by 6 hours. So this is the speed needed. And this with respect to the original speed of 20 kilometers per hour is what is asking. So you can see you are getting 180 by 100. What is 180 by 100? 1.8. So 1.8 is a factor of the new speed needed with respect to the original speed of 20 km per hour, which he was following in one first hour. So 30 kilometers traveled in 5 by 6 hour is the speed needed. This speed with respect to original speed is the factor that is needed. That's what he's asking us. Now let's see the next question. If n is an integer such that the number 1n352 is a 6-digit number divisible by 24. Divisible by 24 actually needs divisibility by 3 and divisibility by 8. Now divisibility by 8 actually says last 3-digit combination must be divided by 8. Already 3 digits which are given must be definitely divided by 8 because he himself said it is divisible by 24. So divisibility by 8 doesn't have any dependency on n value. Now he's asking what is the sum of all possible values of n. Now divisibility of 3 I want to check. Divisibility of 3 takes the sum of all digits must be divided by 3. You add all these digits 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 2, 11 plus 2n. 11 plus 2n must be divisible by 3. So what are the possible values of n? N can be 2 because it becomes 15. N can be 5 because it becomes 21. N can be 8. So these are the possible values of n. So what is the sum of all possible values of n? 2 plus 5 plus 8, which is 15. A very straightforward answer where 8 divisibility need not be verified because already last 3 digits are given and definitely he is saying 24 is dividing the number. Let's see the next question given. The collection of numbers comprising the data is in ascending order. This is already in ascending order is saying. If the median of the data is 12.5, whenever numbers are put in ascending order or any order, the middlemost value becomes the median. So the middlemost value of this data will be these two values. So their average becomes 12.5. Normally I know whose value plus 15 average is 12.5. 10 and 15's average is 12.5. So in place of 10, n minus 1 is there. If n minus 1 is equal to 10, what is n value? 11, straightforwardly. Because you know 10 plus 15 by 2 is 12.5. That's what is given as the average. So n minus 1 is 10. So n value is 11. Don't unnecessarily waste any time wherever not necessary. Let us see the next question. 5 teachers PQRST teach a group of students in a sequence between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. Each teacher teaches for 1 hour. Q takes the first class. So there are 5 classes actually. So Q takes the first class. S teaches just after T. So wherever T is there, S should be just after him. R teaches before P and T. So there should be R before P and T. So this is the only possibility. Before P and T, R should be there. And before everybody, Q should be there. So the only possible sequence is this. So who is taking the second class? R is taking the second class. You can see here, Q takes the first class, S takes just after T, and R should be there before P and T. So before P and T, R is there. So R is taking the second class of the sequence. Now let's see the next question given. The present ages of 3 brothers are in the ratio 12, 14, 17. The difference between the elder and the eldest, these are the 2 members, is 6 years. Actually, we can see 3 parts of the ratio different. So 3 parts of the ratio difference is given as 6 years. If 3 parts of the ratio is 6 years, each part is equal to 2 years. So their ages are 24, 28 and 34. After 4 years, their ages will be 28, 32 and 38. He's asking what is the ratio after 4 years. So this is the ratio that we need. We can get 14, 16, 19. That's the ratio needed simply. Right? Now let us see what is the next question given. I think you got here the 3 parts difference here of the ratio is given as 6 years. So each part of the ratio is equal to 2 years. So their original ages are 24, 28, 34. After 4 years, their ages are 28, 32, 38. Or you can directly do one more possibility. Because every part of the ratio is equal to 2 years, if 4 years later we have to find 2 years, 1 part, 4 years, 2 parts increase. So simply for making everybody increase by 4 years, make 2 parts added to every person. You get the answer 14, 16, 19. That actually reduces your calculation also. Or if you do not get that logic into mind, use directly like this, find their values, add 444 to them and then find the ratio. Let us see what is the next question given. 2 ants of length 1 centimeter and 1.2 centimeter crawl in opposite directions with average speeds of 2 and 3 millimeters per second. How many seconds they take to cross each other? See, to cross each other, they have to cross their total length, which is 2.2 centimeter, and their speeds are given in millimeters per second. So if I take this total distance to be crossed 2.2 centimeter, it becomes 22 millimeter. Traveled with opposite direction speeds of 2 and 3. In opposite direction speeds get added 5. So 22 millimeters divided by 22 millimeter per second, 5 millimeters per second will give you 4.4 seconds. Straightforward answer. Very simple question. Total distance 2.2 centimeter, which is 22 millimeter, traveled with 2 and 3 speeds, which is 5, because opposite directions. Right? Let's see the next question. Yeah. So these are the questions that I have segregated at present. I'll be presenting a few more questions from reasoning and English sections also. And tomorrow, whenever the first slot gets started, and the day after tomorrow, whenever the first slot gets started, whenever I get the update of what questions really came in the exam, I'll be presenting you the questions and the best way of answering them. You may be worrying why I'm actually going this much fast in answering the questions. The reason is, if I myself take 2 minutes to answer each and every question, then you who actually follow the solutions from me or any other teacher, you actually have to take 2+ minutes for every question. But the ideal time to answer every question is 1 to 1.5 minutes. So I have to show you the actual way of answering the questions in less than 1 minute, so that at least if you can match with 80% of my speed, you can go up to 1 to 1.5 minutes, which is the ideal time to answer every question. So that is why. And whenever you have any doubt in the explanation of any answer, you can simply comment below, or you can just go through the same explanation once more, because the video is in your hand in YouTube. So don't worry about me going fast. That actually should be the ideal speed with which answers are to be given. Whenever a more explanation is needed, I'll be giving. Whenever explanation is not needed for this type of questions, I don't want to waste time. Because aptitude is all about not wasting time. It is about managing time. Right? Anytime you get any doubt in my explanation, you can simply put a comment, or you know the number that is given here. You can, for any support in aptitude training and any other thing, you can simply approach us through WhatsApp to this number. Right? Thank you. All the best, and hope that you will be cracking your examinations successfully.